Okay, I'm going to create one new instance, the Linux instance. Okay, Linux instance, and if you know what I'm going to do, like AWS Linux, and instance type is t2.micro and keypad. I'm just trying to use any kind of existing keypad. Keypad doesn't matter, why keypad and what is the use of it, everything. So VPC, I'm going to use the default VPC, whatever it is there. I'll be covering the VPC concept next few weeks. We'll be going very very deep into the VPC concept, right? It's kind of a very very lengthy concept. It's very little bit tough also. Okay, I want everybody to be present for that VPC concept whenever I'm taking. Okay, so now I'm allowing HTTP traffic. As I mentioned, minimum instance would be required is 8 GB. Okay, now you see that what is how how to increase the volume size after creation, right? And we can attach some kind of instances. Now I'm creating launch instance. I don't know if I enabled SSH or not. So now if you can see, okay, so I have one instance created. Okay, now if you can go and see that volumes. Okay, one of the volumes will be created, which is 8 GB. Just now is created. This is attached to the which instance? It's attached to the attached resources this instance. Okay, whichever ed5, whatever we have recently created. Okay, ed5 is what is attached. Whenever you're creating a new volume, it has to be attached to that particular instances. If you mount it, you'll be able to use it. Okay, that's kind of a volume. Okay, EBS volume concepts. Now we are going to see what is AMIs, Amazon Machine Image. So now I have this instance created. Okay, so I'm connecting it. Okay, and I'm connecting through EC2 user. So what is the purpose of AMI? You'll be knowing that what is AMI in the future. Okay, so when we are going with the auto scaling group and all these things, AMI will be very very important ones. Okay, so for now I'm going to install one kind of a so Apache server. Okay, so what is the command you have to use? Install httpd -y. Okay, so I'm installing httpd. Okay, so now I don't know if I enabled http yes or not, http port enabled or not. Okay, I'm going to give a systemctl start httpd. I know that it's been stopped. Now there is one more concept called systemctl enable httpd. You know this? What is the command? Okay, what is the purpose of this command?
It will enable the service.
Starting also enable service, right? Huh? Sorry? What is the difference between systems start and enable? Huh?
If we check the status of HTTP,
Okay, now I disabled. Okay, that's what. Why we need to disable enable is fine. What is the purpose of this? If it started, then it started, right? We can just access this one in the browser. Like it can be. It should work because I think I haven't. Okay, it's working, right? So, what's the purpose of it?
basically it will enable the code.
So the purpose of this enable is that so whenever we are creating a new, whenever the system is restarted, okay, it will make sure that that service is automatically started during boot up. Huh? Enable means, okay, you just try. I want you to try today that just install a HTTPD and start the instance and check the output. Okay, then restart the machine and see the browser. It's enabled or not. Okay, that is the first task for you. Okay, I won't be showing it, right? So you should tell me that whether it has been already working or not. After that, you come here and do enable, and again you restart. Your service will be already been running. Okay, so enable means you are enabling the service during a boot up. Okay, boot up. Whenever the system is restarted also, we should not be going and enabling it automatically. So there is the concept called AMA also. So what I'm going to do is that, okay, I'm going here and I'm creating some kind of file. Okay, this is AMI test. Okay, so what is echo command will do?
It will display
Seriously, seriously, echo will print. But what I'm doing here? What this one will do? Huh? Create a create the file and put the output inside that file. Okay, index.html file. I'm just giving over here. What this command will do is create one command, create one file, and will add this content inside the file. Okay. Just let me finish this one. You can just see. Okay, so now what happened? If I can go and refresh here, what is the output should be? Hey, this is a AMI test. Okay, so this is the output which I'm getting out of this one. Okay, so you know how to add the content to the file with this one. Okay, now it's enabled. Now, what I'm going to do now is that, okay, so now just like that, I've installed some kind of 200 kind of packages. I did huge work. For 1 year I worked on this instance, everything. Okay. Now my manager is coming and saying that, hey Dilip, can you just go and create, okay, same image, okay, and do all these things. Whatever you did, you do all these things. Okay. How much time will it take again? Okay. Not even 1 year. Like the same work you have to do day and night, and you have to do fixing and everything and make it work right. Instead of that, we can access a smart way. Okay, why don't we take a Xerox copy of it and then create a new things? That's what called AMI is comes into the picture. Okay, so AMI comes into the picture because I'm clicking on this one. Okay, and if you go here, okay, before that, let's go to AMIs. So there is no AMIs. Okay, so what is AMI means? Amazon machine image. I'm creating a image out of this particular running instance. Okay, now creating a image. Now go in action and images and templates and create image. Okay, I'm creating image. The image name will be AMI image. Okay, image description is I don't need. Okay, no reboot. That's if you want to, if you don't want this term to be rebooted, and if you want that existing machine to be rebooted, okay, you can just enable that no reboot enable. Okay, if you're okay that existing machine will be rebooted, right? You can just disable it. That's up to you. Okay, and I'm just enabling it, saying that I don't want this machine to be rebooted. Okay, and now I'm creating a image. Okay, now I'm creating image. Okay, so what does this image will do? Now this image is having all the packages. For example, now I worked with this package with this machine for 1 year. I created this image. Okay, I have created this image now. Now what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to create a new instance, not with the existing AMI machine, but with the machine AMI instance, whatever AMI image, whatever I created. For example, AMI is just like a USB. Everybody USB, right? USB inside there is one image. Using that we can boot and then we can install our own operating systems. Understand? Okay, something like that. Okay, so now I'm going to launch instance now. Okay, you know how to launch instances before. I don't need to explain it again. Okay, new image. Okay, new image from new image I'm just. Now I am going here. If I by default you see that what is AMI, the Amazon machine image. This is the machine image is taking by default. Okay, that is the USB stick, whatever is already there in the machine. If I create this one, Apache won't be installed already. Right? I have to go install and I have to start the service and I have to install K1 file and all these things I have to do. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to click on my AMIs. Click on my AMIs, it will show me that the AMI which I have created, it will be creating from that AMI. You understand the difference, right? You understand the difference. What is the AMI? right? AMI will be automatically with the using that existing image, or you're going to use with the new image you created. Everything, whatever it is there, we created on files, right? Packages also you installed. Everything what is just a Xerox copy.
So after creating this AMI, if you install something new in the system, that will not be captured in the
No. After creating it, that's what you already taken a Xerox. If you write something extra in original, it won't go. You have to create again the Xerox. Okay, so that is the thing. So here T2.micro, everything is same. You know, the keypad and everything is same. And VPC, I'm allowing HTTP traffic for this one also, or I can just use the existing ones. You know, it doesn't matter. It's up to you. You know about security groups and all these things, right? That's why I given so much of time for you to go and create a lot of instances, and so because I know that all these things will come again and again. If you go for VPC also, there are so many places where you need to know be knowing about how to enable HTTP and why we need like kind of security groups and route tables and all this. There are,
there is no drawback in using one security group for all the instances.
and the see that's up to you. This is a really good question, right? So what is asking is a really good question. Why don't we use single security group for everything? See, in the real time, if you go for working companies, right? The real time, if you go, you have to be having kind of a same EC2 security group for different purpose of the instances. If you're enabling, if you're going for a if you're going for a Apache web server, okay, you have to only enable that. You have to create one security group. You have to only use the security group for Apache web server, and you have to enable only HTTP. Okay, and if you're creating some kind of a app server, that app server will work on 8080 port. For example, in 8080 port. So in that case, what will happen? In that case, if you attach the same existing group to that, okay, now you also have to be enabling 8080. Currently, that security group already enabling HTTP. Okay, so the one machine will have so many port open. Okay, it's up to you. For now, I can attach the same security group. That doesn't matter. Why? Both instances are same web instances. I want only HTTP to be enabled. Okay, that's kind of a real time kind of the scenarios where you have to be understand that concept. Now allowing the HTTP traffic from the internet, and I'm just giving the same 8 GB of a storage. I'm attaching to that one also. Okay, launch instance. Yeah. Hey, sir. Okay, so now we have just created the AMI instances through which we have created a AMI. Okay, now I'm going here. Okay, this instance is already running. Okay, without see, this is a new instance we created, right? That's a new image. Without giving anything, if you go and open this one in the browser, it should give me the output. Which output it should give?
Same output.
So hey, this is a AMI test output it is giving, right? So that is, you don't need to do anything. Again, you don't need to go install, or you don't need to create kind of enable HTTP, all these things. I want you to test this one. I want you to create one instance, install Apache web server. You already done it, right? Okay. Don't enable that first. Don't enable that HTTP, and then create AMI and see whether it's working or not. It won't work. Okay, that's a test for you. Okay, and after that you create one instance, a same instance as you go and enable it, and then create AMI and go and see the browser. Okay, then it should work. Okay, this is kind of a AMI. Okay, and there is also one more concept called snapshots. So AMI we have covered, right? We can also take a snapshot of this machine. Okay, snapshot in the sense like snapshot snapshot is kind of okay. Let's go to snapshot. Okay, so volumes, and under volumes we have a snapshot. EBS volumes, we can create a different types of volumes and you can attach to it. Snapshot is something. Okay, so you can also create a snapshot from the instances. Now I have this snapshot. Okay, I have this instances. I can just create a snapshot. Okay, images and template. Okay, where is that? Instance settings. Monitor. Okay, sorry, create snapshot. Okay, so here the create snapshot button is there. You are going to create a snapshot. Okay, I'm going to create a snapshot of the instance. Okay, you can create a snapshot. What is snapshot? It's exactly a, see, the AMI is kind of an image. You're backing up a complete image. Okay, snapshot is something which is just a Xerox copy of the particular place.
You can say photocopy of the
Photocopy, yeah. You can say photocopy of the current image. Okay, so what is the advantage of creating a snapshot? And then let me just create one snapshot. Okay, select instance. I'm taking a snapshot of a new image, for example, or old image also. Okay, snapshot, and description is description is not required. Okay, so the volume optional. So I'm creating this one snapshot. So if you can see, when you're creating AMI, okay, there was a default volume was there. Some kind of 8 GB of volume, something was already there. Okay, and here it doesn't create any kind of a different volumes.
it will take default.
It's take default whatever it is there, it will take. Okay, but sorry.
We cannot create instance using the snapshot.
Yes. Now we cannot create an instance using the snapshot. We have to create a volume. Then we have to, first of all, we need to, from the snapshot, then first of all you have to create a AMI. From the AMI, we can create a instance. Okay, and the snapshot.
We can attach this snapshot to another. Use this snapshot to another instance.
Yes, you can use this. Actually, the snapshot, that option is not there yet. I can just check. If that option will be there or not. Most of the times, so the snapshot will be like you can create a multiple snapshot. You can keep it. Keep it in your machine so that the AMIs will be like AMIs will be limited. AMI will be there. Okay, snapshot. Okay, now I'm going here. Created by image. This. Okay, so every image. Every image you wanted to create. Okay, create now. Manage daily snapshot and snapshot settings. Okay, modify snapshot. Archiving. Okay, the snapshot is not ready yet. See, you can see. Copy snapshot. You can copy the snapshot to the particular instances, and you can just go and apply that snapshot to that one. You can practice all these things. Okay, you can practice all these things. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a AMI out of it. It's okay. I think it's ready. Okay, so create image from. Okay, so you can also create a volume from snapshot also. What is called EBS volume? You can also create EBS volume, but so these things are a little bit complex, and don't worry about this one. So for now, you can just imagine that you're creating the use case. The real use case will be creating an image from the snapshot. I'm creating image from the snapshot, and the volume will be the image will be snapshot AMI. Okay, this kind of created a that AMI from the snapshot. I've created. Okay, so description, and so the root device will be this one. Okay, and then volume and all these things. Now we are going to create a AMIs, right? So the AMI is almost like kind of a small kind of a OS. Okay, it's almost kind of a small OS you are going to create, but it's not going to. It's inside that everything will be there. When you're creating snapshot, you didn't give anything else. You didn't give all this, which device it has to go in, and what is the general purpose, and all these things and all you didn't mention. Okay, what kernel ID and which hardware, and all these things, which architecture, and all these things we didn't create. Just a snapshot means just a Xerox copy you created. Now I'm creating a snapshot from the create image. Now I created you go to AMIs and create a snapshot AMI is there. Okay. Now what I can do, I can go and
But why it has appeared here? Like we have created the snapshot.
why does appear here?
Appeared in AMS.
Why does appear means?
Like we have created that snapshot in the snapshot section. Right? So then why it has appeared in that AMI?
No, this is AMI. If you go for snapshots, the snapshot only will be available here. Snapshot will be only see, this is snapshot section. All the snapshot will be available inside this one. This is the AMI section. Only AMIs will be available. When you create a AMI from the snapshot, okay, so that all the AMIs will be available over here. Understand? Still didn't get the question. Get what it is. You just practice. When you're practicing it, you'll understand.
This is not a snapshot. The name is snapshot. The question is why snapshot name is coming under the Amazon machine, right?
You can change the name also.
It is name also.
See, this
It's
is
not a snapshot. The name is snapshot.
the name
Real
is
snapshot
the
looking
name is
like-
snapshot. So I just named it as a snapshot AMI because to identify which AMI I have created. Okay, now if you can go launch instance from AMI, you can also do a launch instance from AMI here also, right? So it automatically will take. So instead of I go and select the AMI option here, it'll choose the AMI already been selected over here. Otherwise, what we can do, there is two options. Otherwise, what we can do, launch instance. Okay, launch instance. You can come here. You can create a instance. You can create a AMI ID and my AMIs. Now, how many AMIs should be there? Two AMIs will be there. One is snapshot AMI. Another one is AMI image. Both the systems, if I create it again, still I should be able to open the web page by default. Okay. So now, do you understand this one? Any questions? Today we have covered, there is nothing so much of the things. Don't get confused. Huh?
So we learned this EFS.
Ah.
It is like a shared space for all the systems. So can you share the snapshot in that file, in that location? So
Snapshot.
that the snapshot is like a storage. You just created a copy of the instance state. So can you share that?
No.
in EFS?
See, that's what I was asking you, that what's the difference between EFS and EBS. Okay, EBS, just understand this difference. EBS is a hard disk. Okay, EFS is a NFS. You know NFS, network file storage. And if you go for a browsing center, everybody have gone for a browsing center, right? I'll give you a very, very small example how differentiate it will be. Okay. EBS volume is like if you go to browsing center, you're attaching one more hard disk to the computer. Okay, that's kind of EBS volume. Unless you remove that hard disk, connect it to some other hard disk, copy that files, it's not going to be shared. You cannot go and share it just like that. But what is EFS means? Have you ever noticed that the browsing center guy will tell you that, okay, I wanted to make a printout of it. Okay, I wanted to print it. He will tell you that, okay, go and copy this in this folder so that I can get it. Have you ever seen this? Have you ever? Right. What is that folder called? That folder is called a share folder. That's a NFS folder. NFS itself a network file sharing. Okay, the difference between, if I wanted to ask you the difference between what is the NFS and then the storage, okay, I will give you the explanation now. So now, you visible, right? Now, just say for example, this is EBS volume. Okay, so this is the NFS volume. Okay, so this is EB, yes, elastic EBS. This is NFS. NFS one. Okay. EBS volume is kind of a block level storage, means if you don't attach this volume to one OS, we cannot use this one. And that OS has to be attached and it has to be created a file system. You know that, right? It's a raw disk. It's a raw. It doesn't have any kind of a operating system or any kind of a OS. Nothing will be there here. So it has to be created a file system. So have you seen that? When you're creating a EBS volume and when you're attaching it, which command you will be giving?
No, you will format the.
Yeah, format. Like format with the which command? Forgot, man. Come on. MKFS. MKFS.ext, 3ext4. Yes or no? MKFS.ext4 was there.
By default, I think it takes
Yeah, yes. MKFS, right?
For Linux. NTFS means Windows. So block storage means it's a block level. NFS means within a files within the OS.
So he's let me introduce this guy. He's kind of more than 15, how many years? 16. Huh? Okay, 160 years experience. He's just coming here just to learn some Terraform stuff.
Experience does not matter.
Okay, so you need to, if you want to use this volume, you need to create a file system out of it. Okay, just like a pen drive. Okay, or if you attach the hard disk, right? First, so many of the times, right, whenever you attach the hard disk, you need to go through the system and then you have to format it. NTFS format. What is NTFS? NTFS is a Windows file system. For Linux, there is a file system called ext4. Extendable, extendable file system. ext2, ext3, ext4, all these things. Okay, that is the difference. So EBS volume without formatting you cannot use. If you format it, some kind of operating system will be created. Some kind of a some kind of Linux file system will be created on top of it. Then you need to mount this one to some kind of an instance. Okay, you need to mount this one to some kind of an instance. Then you can use. But what is NFS? NFS is in the bottom of the NFS, if you can see, NFS is already a managed OS. NFS is already working on managed OS. Okay, so if you can see, if you create an NFS file system, what it will happen is it will take some time. If you create NFS, it will take some really enough time. But the EBS is not like that. It will immediately create, but NFS it will take some fraction of 1 minute of time. What's happening inside that one is that it will create one OS, Linux OS. Okay, they're installing a NFS file system. Okay, and they are giving it to you. Here, what you're doing is that you're creating a NFS folder. NFS folder you're already creating. NFS folder means shared folder you're creating. Shared folder is already creating. So this one is already formatted. Okay, so this one is already formatted. But this EBS volume is not formatted. We need to be formatted, and it's just like hard disk, right? We need to detach and attach to some other machine. Then only it will work. Why? Right? So in the EBS volume, if you attach to one instances, you can just see, you cannot attach to some other instances. If it is mounted, okay, it's attached, you cannot attach to some other instances. But what is NFS will do?
Create OS.
It automatically created, inside, under the hood, you won't see. Right?
Do you have any example of
NFS.
in real time?
Yeah, real time is what? NFS only.
No, real time example is better.
Okay. I will give you a real time example is, okay, in your company, you are working on company, right? In your company, if you can go, okay, so or in your colleges, okay, there is one place where you can go and upload all the files,
Common drive.
common drive. Who is creating common drive? Admin is creating common drive. Admin, that common drive is what? This one. That's what I told you in the browsing center, right? Browsing center, then there's one folder will be there. Anybody can put files. You can see anybody else's files also.
But one thing, in this share, you can able to format the right? No, right.
In
In the share, you can't able to format. You can't able to format because under the Windows OS, you right click and format. In the sense, can it possible to change to extended form, ext?
in our office, we had a common drive.
No. As per the
We
delete example.
add and delete also.
Yeah, that's what. That's the.
On the right different things.
You do that. This confused. That's what. That one common drive. You can put any kind of files. That can be, if it has been attached to some other machine. Everybody can see that particular files. Everybody can see the files.
Okay. Basically, it will be connected to
Every multiple OSs. But here you cannot connect it to multiple OS. You can connect to only one OS. Okay. Is it clear? So now please create EBS volume. Okay, sorry, AMI. First create one instances with install Apache server and create without enabling HTTP, and after that enable HTTP and try and all these things and let me know if